Zooming in on Australia ahead of a central bank decision this week, rising interest rates in the country have sent property prices plummeting in many cities. And with the Reserve Bank predicting further increases in the months ahead, the real estate market and homeowners are facing serious problems. The steady rise in interest rates is also affecting the broader economy, adding to the country's cost of living woes. There's even talk of a possible recession if conditions don't improve. But as Roger Maynard reports from Sydney, it's not all doom and gloom.
No, so 1535 is the call, 1 million. The juice is worth the squeeze. Second time now.
These are worrying times for Australia's real estate market, especially here in Sydney, where higher interest rates have sent prices tumbling by between 10 and 15% since property values peaked more than a year ago. With many people fearing the slide has further to fall, buyers are keeping their hands in their pocket and vendors are reluctant to sell. As a result, there's a shortage of housing stock. Here on the outskirts of Sydney, auctioneer Jerome Smith is hoping to buck the trend by selling this four-bedroom home in an area which is enjoying a mini boom, thanks to the nearby construction of Sydney's second airport. On the other side of the city, at the upper end of the market, this three-bedroom townhouse with its iconic harbour views is also up for sale. A couple of years ago, it sold for around $10 million. It's tipped to reach $11 million when it goes to auction shortly.
Because there's a lot of immigration coming in now. I think there's 235,000 new people coming to Australia this year. We haven't had migration for 3 years, and they've all got to live somewhere. And a lot of them have flexible budgets and are buying properties in our market at more than $10 million, and they're holding the prices up.
In many ways, it's a tale of two cities, or in this case, two markets. Top dollar homes with views will always sell, but elsewhere it's a very different story. Many homeowners who were prompted to borrow more from the bank in a rising market now face negative equity, mortgages in excess of the value of their property. With Australia's Reserve Bank predicting more interest rate hikes to come, many people may be forced to sell. Rate rises are also affecting the broader economy, and there's no sign of a soft landing. Just when interest rates and the rising cost of living will start to fall is anybody's guess. But with the economy on a knife edge and many Australians already forced to cut back on their spending, the fear now, rightly or wrongly, is of a looming recession. The Reserve Bank is taking much of the blame for originally suggesting that interest rates in Australia would not go up until 2024, thereby encouraging people to borrow more than they could afford. That changed when inflation, currently put at 7.4%, first took off, forcing the bank to put a brake on consumer spending by increasing rates earlier than planned. Many Australians are now suffering the consequences. Young families have been the worst hit, and some people no longer have a roof over their head.
I'm living in the park.
In the park?
Yes.
So no permanent residence at all?
No.
So a lot of people that borrowed a lot of money for the houses now, and interest rates are going up, they can't afford to pay it all back because they borrow too much.
It's clearly a stressful time for many, but opinion is divided over the severity of the slowdown and where it's heading.
The export base is very good and our unemployment rate is very low. So I think, if anything, Australia's probably got the least chance of a recession.
Second, third.
Back in Sydney's outer suburbs, the feeling is one of quiet confidence among those on real estate's front line.
While the supply is short, we're still going to have competitive tension and some fantastic results.
Where are prices heading? Do they still have further to drop?
Well, we didn't see them dropping here this afternoon. The only thing that dropped was the gavel.
Some real estate commentators are now predicting the housing price slump is nearing its end. But that will also depend on when Australia's Reserve Bank manages to put the inflation genie back in the bottle and interest rates start coming down. Roger Maynard, CNA, Sydney.